Well, welcome. This is your first time here.
This is my first time on your show. I'm so excited.
I'm excited to have you here. You came up to me at an Oscar party and said, I'm going to be on your show.
I was in awe. I was starstruck. I seriously have been watching your show probably far too long than I should admit, and I wanted to be you.
Well, first of all, there's nothing wrong with watching my show for a long time. I don't have more than 5 years, no. And you wanted to be a talk show host.
I did. I wanted to be a talk show host. I wanted to be a mixture of you, Tyra, and Barbara Walters, all into one.
Well, you can. You can do whatever you want. Put your mind to it. Clearly. I mean, you wrote a book.
Well,
it's fantastic.
Thank you.
All right, so you were at this, because I left. What time did you leave that party? I left at 2:30.
I left much later because I went straight there. I went home, changed into sweatpants, took my bag to set, and went straight to work with my hair and makeup still on.
Wow. So
yeah, I didn't sleep at all.
Wow. So you were part of the conga line.
I was part of Madonna's conga line, yes.
I left before Madonna started the conga line. I knew that was going to happen, and I said, bye.
Yeah. No. I was kind of wrangled in there. I don't think I had a choice, but it was fun.
Was Mick Jagger there yet? I
think he was. He was there. It was a crowded room.
It was a very crowded.
Bono.
Yeah, everybody was there.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of surreal.
But you grew up. Her dad is Phil Collins, so I would assume that you knew. Like a lot of growing up, didn't you meet a lot of celebrities? And
yeah, I mean, I definitely had my fair share of run-ins, but they're people.
But it's great. Yes, they are. We're all just people. We pump gas and put money in meters, and so you were nominated up against Meryl Streep for a Golden Globe. How crazy! I mean, that must feel
completely surreal. I just even having my name in a sentence with Meryl Streep was something I never ever imagined. But total honor.
And you were raised in England.
I was raised in England. So I was born there and then moved here when I turned 5.
Oh, but do you still have an accent?
Well, when I go back to England, I think I pick up a few words here or there, and I come back and my friends say that I have a bit of a British thing going on, which...
Hello. Like that.
That's just like that, exactly.
I'm really good at accents. Hello, governor. This is, no, it's like uncanny. So let's talk about the book. You really are it's called Unfiltered. You talk about in eating disorders, you talk about a lot of different things, and what made you want to write this?
Strangely enough, social media. Actually, my Instagram account, when I formed it, I had no idea that this really supportive, encouraging group of young women would surround it, and they started sharing their stories and insecurities and experiences with me, but always prefaced it by saying, I'm sure you could never relate, because you're in Hollywood or you're an actress. And all I wanted to do was reach out and say, oh God, little did you know I have these same experiences as you, and here's my story. And I finally got to the point, I'm 27, I'll be 28 soon, and I became at a point where I was at peace with a lot of things, and I thought, I want to be held accountable for these things in order to move forward, and I have no shame about my experiences, and neither should anybody else. So this is kind of my way of starting a bunch of conversations about things that all young women can relate on.
Good for you. I mean, this is a book I would highly recommend if you have daughters, even sons. I think, everybody can, but I think especially teenage girls and younger should read this book, because it really gives you some advice that everybody needs at that age. And for someone to think that just because you're rich or famous or whatever, you don't go through struggles. Sometimes actresses go through more of a struggle because the pressure on you to be beautiful and thin and perfect is even more. But it filters down into society, and young girls looking at this saying, I need to look like that. So it's a great book for kids to read. It's called Unfiltered. It's available March 7th in bookstores. We'll be right back. You're good friends with Michelle.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. She and I have I'm kind of a needler, and she handles it pretty well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was at the opening of the African American Museum in Washington.
Yeah.
It's great, really.
Yeah.
It's worth seeing.
Yeah, I know. I didn't get a chance. I was there for one day, and I'm dying to go see it.
You ought to. It's good.
I hear it's amazing. The building is beautiful. The architecture is beautiful.
Really interesting.
But yes, she is an amazing woman. I love her so much. I feel the same way about her. She's a great person. So you went to the...
That surprised everybody. That's what's so weird about society today, that...
Well...
people on opposite sides of the political spectrum could actually like each other.
But are you that close? You're closer to her than Barack?
Well, let's put it this way. He's never given me a hug that way.
Yeah. That's true. So it's all about the hug. I see.
Generally.
That's
yeah.
right. So you went to the inauguration, which was the right thing to do, but it must have been tough because your brother Jeb was pretty
Not really.
harshly
You know,
judged.
Jeb gave it his best shot. Not
Right.
really. I tell you, it's a beautiful experience to watch the peaceful transfer of power. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad I went.
You had a little bit of problem. The poncho was a problem. It seemed. Had you put a poncho? Had you put one on? Is that the first time?
Yeah. It's
First time putting a
it
poncho
looks like it, that's for sure.
I feel like. I feel like it runs in the family. It really must run in the family because your mom had an issue with the poncho also.
It's genetics.
Yeah. All right. I want to make sure that doesn't happen again. So, hey, Zener, will you bring out the gift? There's a. All right. What you do? Here. And all you do is this end up. And you can put it on. Yeah. All right. Our first guest is the 43rd President of the United States. His new book is called Portraits of Courage. Please welcome President George W. Bush. Dancing. It wasn't committed to it fully, but it was a little bit of dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sober.
Yeah. It's hard to dance sober. It really is. All of these people drunk. I'm so excited to have you here. Are you as excited as I am to be here?
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
No, I am. People don't know this, but my daughter Jenna and you are good buddies.
Yes, we are.
And so my attitude is, if you're a good buddy of Jenna, you're a good buddy of mine.
She's a lovely girl. Your whole family. Your whole family. Yeah, she was on the show, and we called you, and you answered the phone. You actually picked up and talked to us while she was on the
Yeah,
on the
and I was
show.
actually the president.
Yeah, I know.
In the treaty room in the White House.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
We were very excited that you picked up.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. I love your whole family, your dad and your mom, and I know we're both in the hospital recently, but then they were at the Super Bowl, so I was happy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're good.
Yeah. I'm the only president with both parents alive after the presidency,
Really?
which is a huge blessing.
Yeah, it is.
It is. And so, actually, I'm the only one of two presidents with both parents alive during the presidency.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
See how you learn things and I learn things together. We teach each other.
Yes, we do.
We do.
Yeah. Teach me how to dance, please.
I'm not the one to do that. That's Twitch. But really, I do love them very much. But you have, when you left office, and you've pretty much stayed out of politics. You kind of went and lived your life, which is great, I'm sure, and more relaxing. But I have to ask you what you think of what's going on now.
Well, I think this isn't the first time our nation's ever been divided. I remember what it was like when I got out of college. There was a Vietnam War and a draft. There were major race riots. There was political assassinations. The president was nearly impeached. And a lot of people thought the country was going down the tubes. And it turns out we're too strong to go down the tubes. And so I'm very optimistic.
Good.
But yeah, I'm out of politics. You know, my whole view is I don't think it serves the nation or the office of president to have a former president criticize his successors. And so I'm happy to be off the stage,
Yeah.
except this one.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks for being on this stage. So this is a concern, though, for me. I'll bring it up, and this is not political. This is really something that I think is important. Obviously, the media was not, great to you. They're not great to most presidents. The media is tough.
You expect them to be tough.
But Trump is raging an outright just war against all press and not allowing press to do their job, which I think is a very dangerous thing.
Well, here, I said something the other day, and of course the headlines were Bush criticizes Trump. Here's what I believed when I was president, post-president. The nation needs a free and independent press. And the reason why is that power can be very corrupting. And we need a press corps to hold politicians to account, including me. And yeah, I didn't like it sometimes when people said things that, about me, but that's the job. I always viewed the I'm going to drop a big word on you. Symbiotic relationship.
Ooh.
Yeah.
4 syllables.
Yeah. Don't ask me to spell it.
All right.
And that is, I needed the press to get the message out, and they needed me to make news. And so, yeah.
But it's very important. I mean, I
Yes,
think
it is very important.
We need to hear from everybody, and then it's up to us to figure out,
So I used to tell, a lot of these tyrants when I would visit with them as president, that they needed to have a free press. And I would point to our country as an example where, power doesn't make you immune to criticism. Or to corruption investigations. And so, I'm a big believer in the free press, just like I'm a big believer in free religion. You can worship or not worship, and you're equally American.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how you worship or who you worship.
When you say tyrants, were you speaking of Putin? Because you had a relationship with Putin, and Trump has a relationship with Putin, but I believe it's different.
Yeah, well, so I introduced Putin to Barney. You remember Barney, the little Scottish terrier?
Yes.
The little guy
Yes.
had legs, and he kind of dissed him. He looked at him like, you think that's a dog? Anyway, so a year later, Putin says, would you like to meet my dog? Laura and I were with Putin in his dacha outside of Moscow. I said, yeah, I'd like to meet him. And out comes a giant hound, kind of loping across the birch line yard. And Putin looks at me and says, bigger, stronger, and faster than Barney. And, it speaks volumes when you listen to what somebody says. And so, in other words, he's got a chip on his shoulder.
Yep. Yep.
And so, I had a contentious relationship with him. And I think whoever the president is going to find out that Putin will push and push and push until somebody stands up to him.
Yeah. So Trump should get a hound.
Not bad.